The following video is brought to you by DanceLifeTV.
Hi, I'm Patricia Dickinson, and you're watching DanceLifeTV. I was a little girl in Barnesville, Georgia, and there was a wonderful woman by the name of Nancy Stone, who was what we would call a circuit teacher, and she would come once a week to Barnesville. We danced in the Boy Scout hut, and that's where I started. And had it not been for Nancy, who then took me on to auditions in Atlanta, and I became a company member with the ballet company in Atlanta, Nancy was really instrumental in really making all that start to happen. I have had a very gypsy ballet career. I was with Dallas Ballet first as an apprentice, and then I guested with them for a while. Performing was fun, but it wasn't the only thing that I was doing at that point. And starting to really choreograph bigger ballets. My husband and I had wanted to live in New Mexico for years, so finally in 1990 we moved here. And then in 1994 I opened a little school, and then it turned into a little bit bigger school. It'll never be a giant school because one of the reasons we keep our classes very small in the younger areas, because I want them to have the value that when they leave here they really do have a rhythm or have a sense of what they're doing. So we, in our younger classes, we don't have more than 12-to-1 ratio. When dance really clicks, when, you know, because there are years and years and years in there that the kids are working hard and they're improving, there's no question about it. But like when they first put on pointe shoes, oh my gosh, put on blinders. They're like, you know, little deer. And then when their bodies catch up with their minds and you really start seeing them move, you know, those aha moments that just take your breath away, and then you go and you see them on stage and they have such beautiful quality, and you're just very proud of them. June 28th, 2008.
Tell us what happened.
I love fires, is what it boils down to. And several years ago, I actually built the first fire pit in our backyard. Me back there just digging a hole in the ground. And after a couple of years, my husband improved on it and leveled it and deepened it. And we'd had fires for multitudes of times. And I was the firekeeper because I love fire. So my job to myself every night when we had a fire was to go out and spread the coals out to make sure, because we're a very dry state and you don't want to cause a forest fire. And that night I reached over with my left foot, reached over to get the tool. My right foot caught a chair and I fell back like a turtle. So I was stuck in the fire, and I tried to get out and I couldn't get out. The worst part was I had on a rayon shirt. So the rayon shirt incinerated. The only part of the evening that I don't remember is the actual getting out of the fire. I don't know how I got out. I just know that I did, and I thank whoever helped me. And so then my husband found me. He said he looked out, and normally he would have gone back and started reading and go to bed. So this was an odd thing in and of itself. He came forward and he saw two flames, and that something's not right here. So he came out, patted me down. I told him I was fine, to make a cold bath, to get me into a cold bath, call 911. They did. When 911 came, they wheeled me out, and I told them to go to this hospital where we had insurance, and he said, no ma'am, we're going to the burn center. Went to the burn center, and that's the last I remember for 6 to 8 weeks. I was put into a drug-induced coma. I had negative 13 chance of survival. They didn't know if I would survive for 2 months. And I am so fortunate and so lucky and so blessed to be here. I can't let anybody down, including myself. And I got thrown back for some reason. I have no idea. But it wasn't my time, and I have a whole lot left to do. I told him when I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't move anything, September a year ago, and I told them in the hospital, I said, I'm going to do a benefit for this burn center. You guys saved my life. I'm going to do a benefit. So last August 8th, we sold out 1,200 tickets, and we made about $15,000 for the burn center. Compassion, a true sense of understanding that when somebody hurts, they deeply hurt. And I also believe it's harder on the caretakers. That I, in some ways, had it easy. I was being taken care of. I was in the hospital 6 months. You know, there weren't too many hours I was left alone. As soon as I got back from the hospital and could drive myself, I started volunteering in the burn unit. We're also going to be taking dancers into the UNM hospital, and Presbyterian Hospital, and doing work, entertaining more, because they do. I mean, having been there for a while, you know, we had a harpist come by, and how lovely that was. And so we're going to do that. We're going to try to work with some of the psychiatric, the kids in psychiatric wards, and take dance to them also, and do some dance therapy. What is dance? Dance is the rhythm of the heart. Lub-dub, lub-dub. From the very beginning of time, I've often wondered, how did those first people start dancing? There were no musical instruments, there were rocks. So how did they start coming up with a rhythm? Lub-dub, lub-dub. So from the rhythm of your heart, there's the brain connection, and with the brain connection, there's dance and motion and different rhythms. And I think that's where dance is. I think that's where it comes from. When people say you dance from the heart, it's because that is the central place that it has to start because of the rhythm.
See more videos like this and more at DanceLifeTV.com.